Hello, sweet, sweet Harmonies. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you're feeling wonderfully chill this evening. If not, then please watch this lovely reflexology treatment, and I hope you'll soon feel soothed and ready for sleep. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Please do buy me a coffee or a peppermint tea, and that will really help to support this channel. Also subscribe, like and share, and hit the thanks button and send me something special so I know you care. Enjoy Nadine's whole reflexology treatment all in one go, including the Brazilian toe technique at the end. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you soon. Let's spread a little healing. So I'm putting a couple of drops of corn mint, lavender and sweet marjoram on my hands, and then I just want you to take a few deep breaths. Lovely. So you may taste it eventually after a couple of breaths. You may feel cool eyeballs. It'll come through all your senses. And this particular mix is so good for getting rid of headaches. So I'm going to put another couple of drops on a tissue. And then I'll just place that just here so that you can breathe it during the treatment. And I've put a little bit of the Tropic Vitamin Toner on a couple of eye pads. I'm just going to place those over your eyes. So this is going to be the eye pillow over the top. Nice cooling eye pillow. So this contains rose, mint and lavender petals. So again, lovely and cooling. Just sitting into the eye sockets there. If you get fed up with it at any point, just take it off, that's absolutely fine. So I've got here some cooled sponges to just wipe down the feet, and I'm just applying a little Roman chamomile hydrolat. Roman chamomile is naturally anti-inflammatory, stress relieving, and whatever goes on the feet we also feel and smell and taste in our senses. So at some point it may be tasted up in the mouth. So I'm just going between each toe, just cooling with lovely cooling sponges, and round the back of the foot, up the sole, soothing away the stresses and the heat of the day. Lovely. So at first just having a little feel of the feet, how they present themselves at first. It's quite interesting to suss out how the feet arrive, what they're telling me about their day, what's going on, before I do the preliminary relaxation to the feet and the reflexology. It's quite a good way to start, to actually have a little bit of a suss out, see what the feet are telling me. A little bit of tension there. Nice and soft in the upper
soft area, upper fascia, tiny bit of clicks and crunches at the top, and then the big toe on the left side, a little bit tense, not too bad. Yeah, that feels like it needs some energy putting into there, whereas this one feels entirely different. So interesting how the one foot can be different from another. Okay, so I'm going to start off the assessment now, which with Swiss Reflex treatment we tend to have a feel of each system of the body in turn. So I'm supporting with one hand while just having a little feel. First of all, here, of the solar plexus. The solar plexus is a network of nerves that gathers together just underneath the diaphragm, which obviously is the muscle that powers our lungs, our breathing. And this network of nerves here can feel very tense depending on what's going on in our lives. It tends to feel more relaxed if we are happy with ourselves, if we feel deeply content. That's feeling a little tense, so I'm just going to make a note. And then I'm going to feel the sciatic nerve that comes from the lower back down through the buttocks. I'm feeling quite firmly here, and then up down the side of the foot, the heel, and then through the ankle, up behind the ankle bone. That feels okay to me. Just going to come across and feel the other solar plexus. It feels very similar. It's not too bad, but I can feel that could be better. I just want that to relax a little bit more. So just feeling again the other sciatic nerve from the lower back across through the buttock and up that side of the leg here. Yeah, behind that ankle bone. Now I'm going to feel into the skeletal system. So I'm going to start at the neck. So this is the outside of the right side of the neck. And if you've been watching my other videos, you know that I'm often saying that necks have a little bit of a raw deal. They're a little bit of a design fault. We tend to hold our heads forward, whether we're looking at computers, phones, or even just walking. And so that puts such an added strain onto our spine, especially the top of the spine, those 7 vertebrae of the neck. So this area here, this is now behind the right side of the neck. This area really could do with extra support, a bit of strength. Now feeling into the left side, around the back. I'm just continuing the line from the other foot. And then around. So around the back and around. I think these are going to really benefit from some reflexology. And then working in the more structural system, I'm going to start on the upper spine. So this is the shape of Nadine's spine here. And we all have a different foot shape and we all have a different spine shape. But they tend to copy each other on each person. So I'm feeling down the neck, through the thoracics. It's not too bad. it's giving. You can see it's bouncing a little. That's a really good sign. A little bit tense here, so that would be very upper lumbar, so I'd say about L1, 2. Yeah, they're clicking and they're quite tense then. I think they might even be fixated. So I'm going to help with the lumbar, then coming round the other foot, coming down the neck, the thoracics. Yeah, and it's the same on the other foot. Quite often one foot will emulate the other. If there's tension on one side of the spine, there may well be tension on the other side. So I'm going to be working on both sides of the lumbar. Now coming up to the shoulder. Now this is actually the scapula, the shoulder blade, and nice large shoulder blade. I'm just feeling with my thumb to see if it's clicking. So lots of things can be felt here. It might feel bruised, it might feel like a sharp pain, it might feel numb, it might feel like it's full of fluid, or it might just be incredibly painful. But I can feel this doesn't feel too bad. There's no particular clicks. That doesn't feel too bad to me, so that's great news. Then coming over to the left scapula, coming up, always upwards, doing this lovely caterpillar movement, working my thumb in frequent little pushes. Oh, that's good. Now over to the shoulder point, which is this rounded area here, working up, through the shoulder point, and I frequently feel issues here in reflexology checks, assessments on people, and it can either feel sore, my word for it normally would be a little vulnerable, like the shoulder point feels exposed and maybe a bit weak, a little vulnerable, but actually in this case it feels okay. There's no particular, oh, there's a tiny little click then, no particular clicks or gravelly feeling. Just coming over to the left side, working up. That's good. Sometimes the feet react when I'm working on them. They give a little shake or a judder, and that might mean that the person has reached that lovely point in relaxation where they're really switching off and almost the body has forgotten they're having a reflexology treatment. So having done a little bit of structural, I'm just going to carry on with some joints. So this protruding bony area low down on the outside of the foot here is the hip, as it would be on the body, protruding bony area. So the hip feels okay, maybe a little bit exposed. I'm just going to make a mark on that so I know to treat it. And then above there we've got the elbow. Yeah, that definitely feels a little bit sore. And then lower than there we've got the knee, that feels okay. So coming over the other side, first of all, the middle bony area, we have the hip. Same again. And then above we have the elbow. Doesn't feel too bad that side. Interesting. And then lower we have the knee. And that feels okay too, so that's good news. And then I'm going to be checking the respiratory system. So we're going to come up through the right lung, this padded area just underneath the middle 3 toes. That feels all right, so that's good. So that bodes well for breathing. A tiny little bit of sore there, so that's upper left for me. Bodes well for breathing, getting good deep breaths in, not breathing too shallowly. That's a really good sign. And of course, this time of year, it's been a really hot day here in England. It's been about 28 here, and I think it's going up to 31 to 33 over the next few days. So obviously in this hot weather, it can bring on more breathing difficulties, for instance, asthma. But that feels all right to me on both sides. That's great news. I'm going to have a look at the sinuses now. So I'm just supporting around the front of the toes and then feeling with my thumb on each tiny toe pad. Feels okay. And the other side, or little flicks. Probably a little bit ticklish. Little bit ticklish. And then we're going to come up to the eyes and ears. So, trying not to be ticklish, I'm just going to have a little feel between the second and third toe, just down on this ledge. So that's the right eye. And then the ledge between the fourth and fifth toe, that will be the right ear. They feel fine. Feeling across to the left. And the ear. All good. Great news. Okay. So we're now going to come over to the digestive system. So I'm going to feel into the liver first of all. This is this large organ below the harder tissue of the upper foot. So I'm feeling fairly firmly, positively in a triangular shape from my left to the right, going across. So even though I'm only assessing and checking, I'm treating at the same time, because that would be the usual direction of flow for the liver, for me to be able to help expel any toxins. And it feels fine to me. That's great news. I do happen to know that Nadine's doing a detox, an aloe vera detox at the moment. So that liver will be feeling good with all the aloe vera and the supplements for having a nice 9-day detox. And then coming across to, I think we're going to do the intestines next on the right hand side. Just going to support the foot underneath. And a little bit clicky lower down. And then I'm going to come through the ileocecal valve, which is bottom left here. And I'm feeling it, but also treating it at the same time. That would be the direction that the valve needs to go. And then working up the ascending colon and across. Lovely. All feels good to me. Then back to the rest of the small intestine on the soft tissue part of the instep. Feels good. Then I'm just going to have a little feel of the stomach and pancreas. And then across the transcending colon. down the descending, and just vaguely across the bottom there, where it would come out. A little bit dense there. Okay, but apart from that, absolutely great. I know with this detox, Nadine's having less to eat at the moment, less actual solid food, more aloe vera and shake and supplements. So the digestive system doesn't feel congested at all, which is a good sign. Now going to come on to the lymph system. So working around the front of the toes here, in between the first and second toe, I'm just going to caterpillar move my thumb down the front there. It feels a little bit swollen there, so I'm just going to make a mark on my little drawing. And then on the same foot, I'm just going to check the inguinal lymph, which is around the outside of the ankle bone. Again, tiny little bit swollen there, so I'm just going to make a mark for that. So again, on the left foot, coming to the top of the cervical lymph, up in the chest area. Same again, and then round that ankle bone, just here, round the bottom, the side and the top. Again, feeling a little bit swollen, so I'll definitely be working on both of those lymph. Now I'm going to work on the reproductive system. So I'm going to start on the right foot on the ovary, which if you were to draw a line between the ankle bone and the outer point of the heel, it would be about halfway. So that's where my thumb is just gently pressing now. And then I'm going to extend the movement in a caterpillar track across over the foot and down the other side. Now this is in between, again, in between the ankle bone and the heel point, about halfway through. Here is the uterus, or rather the right side of the uterus. Now in men, of course, this would be the testes on the outside and the prostate on the inside, in between the feet. So coming round to the other side, just going to check the reproductive system. I can do it by feel. So I've got one finger there on the left ovary, and then working my way over in a caterpillar track to the inside, the left side of the uterus. Feels good. I think I will be working on those, but they feel good. So now I'm going to be working on the excretory system. So working from the adrenal on the right foot, which is just below the ball of the right foot. Then working to the kidney, which is just below the adrenal in a kidney shape. Yeah, a little bit clicky. And then working round in a gentle arc to the bladder. Just here on that curve. Sometimes you can see the bladder on some people. It tends to be a little bit swollen. And then the same on the other side, from the adrenal to the kidney, round in an arc to that lovely bladder. Yeah, and I always work on this area at the end of a Swiss Reflex treatment anyway, because it helps to remove toxins that have been agitated during the treatment. So now I'm going to go and make up a nice cream to use for Nadine's reflexology treatment. So I've put together here some lovely cooling aloe gel because it's quite a warm evening. I've also put some organic sunflower oil and then a mixture of corn mint, quite a lot of lavender and some sweet marjoram in order to carry on that clearing action, because Nadine arrived with a headache today. So I'm just going to use some of that first of all over both feet. Oh, it smells amazing. So again, just like using the Roman chamomile hydrolat spray earlier, Nadine may well start smelling and sensing, even tasting some of this as it's being massaged into the soul. I'm going to use the same on the other side. Smells amazing. You can see that quality in there. It's quite a gel with lots of aloe vera jelly, so cooling. So massaging gently into both feet at the same time to prepare the feet for a lovely soothing reflexology treatment. It's quite nice to have a two-handed treatment where the technique is simultaneous to both feet at the same time, and there should be no sudden movement, no shocks or bumps. It's just a lovely soothing treatment. It's quite nice to include stretches. So just stretching into the leg, the lower leg, the foot, the ankle, deepening the effect of the massage, going a little deeper and stronger. Working up between the toes, massaging around the sides of the foot. And I know at the moment Nadine has some pain on the outside of the left foot, so I know when I come to massage that particular area I'm going to be giving extra care, extra healing. Nice and deep and soothing to the left side. The strength going up the leg, round above the ankle, gently down. Just turning into the ankle, creating a little click there. And I'm supporting with one hand as it turns. kind of clear away those clicks. That's when we help support the strength of the ankle. Clearing the muscles, creating a free flow of blood flow to the area. Yeah, there we are. A little click still. So I tend to place a thumb or a couple of fingers where the click is starting, and eventually it should go. Turning both ways. Using my thenar muscles and the base of the thumbs to massage down around that joint. Two thumbs gently under the foot, working together quite deeply, stretching that soft fascia under the foot. And now, once I've done that to both sides, I'm going to massage the solar plexus in a clockwise manner, deeply, symmetrically. And for me, this marks the start of the actual treatment, the start of the targeted healing. And this is when I tune into what reflexology really means, where the meridians, the energy systems of the body end up at these extremities, and with the solar plexus ends up just here. And I like to just spend a little time here warming and connecting with the person and their feet. Again, seeing what the feet are telling me. So at this point I am gently, very carefully turning my thumbs, emulating a clockwise direction, very gently. Now I'm going to glance at my notes, see where else needs treating today. Having worked on the solar plexus, I'm going to come up to the neck. I'm going to start on the inside, work across the back to the outside of the neck. So that you can see more clearly, just going to work on one foot at a time, coming from the back, working with my thumb, soothing the back of the neck, clearing out any congestion, allowing some space and freedom for that Vishuddhi chakra, the throat chakra. And I tend to visualize beautiful blue colour here, like a beautiful waterfall rushing and gushing through the throat to help heal and allow space. Same on the other side. Visualizing blue, like a blue waterfall, or it could be like a blue scarf gently wrapped around the neck, the throat. Now up to the eyes and ears. They were okay earlier. I'm just going to drop down onto one part of the right lung, which seemed fine earlier, but it was just a tiny bit hard, vulnerable in one particular spot. That feels all right now. Sometimes even just the assessment, that targeted caterpillar action during the assessment can sort out an issue, so that's good. Then going to work on the spine. So coming down the spine from the neck, clearing, massaging, clearing. Going downwards, downwards. And again, this feels better than it did earlier. It's still a little bit firm and crunchy at that point on the lower thoracic, upper lumbar. And I think this is going to be easy to go. Don't think this is going to be here for long. Yeah, that's going. That's good. Lovely. So that's that. Just above the waist. Or about at the waist. And then the other side in exactly the same place on the left. So just working down from the spine, from the neck, down the spine. A little bit crunchy there actually, so that's in between the scapula, right at the top, about T1 to 3, and then down the spine. Lovely and smooth there, that's really good. And then further down we go, lower thoracics, upper lumbar. Already better. Sometimes just by treating other parts of the feet, it will help those further parts that you were going to target that just don't need it anymore. That's great. Where else do I need to treat today? So I'm going to be looking at the lower colon. So once it comes down the descending here, I'm just going to do a little bit of a caterpillar action to help clear that last bit of colon. This will help with any detox going on. And then it gradually curves into the foot at the bottom. It just becomes a little bit more dense here. So working down and in. Yeah. Again, I think that's going to go quite easily. There might be a bit of pain there with that outside of the foot could be what's causing it. So I'm just going to soothingly reassure the muscles and structure of the outside of the left foot, just coming round. Yeah, that's where it is. Okay. Just giving it a 3-finger approach. Down here, down the outside of the left part of the foot. Yeah, it's Nadine was saying earlier that she's had for quite a while now a little issue with this foot on the outside. She's had an x-ray and is waiting for results. So there's lots of things it can be. As you know, on this channel I have talked in the past about plantar fasciitis, which is a spasming of the muscles underneath or around the edges of the foot. That's what this could well be. It's around the outer edge. It can be from things like wearing flip-flops and sandals that aren't buckled in, that aren't strapped on, because we tend to grip with our toes and the heel even of the sides of the foot when we're wearing those type of shoes, and that can produce like overwork, if you like, overwork of those muscles and a spasming action. And the spasm doesn't tend to go when we take those shoes off. It's there all the time, and the more that we wear those, it can just get worse and worse and even wake us up in the night. So it can be quite bad when we first put our feet on the floor in the morning. This is clearing now. That's getting better, that's good. It's not in spasm anymore. Sometimes by massaging it can actually cause the spasm, which is a little ironic, because the muscle is saying, no, I'm far too tense for you to massage me. So we have to approach whatever this might be, for instance plantar fasciitis, with care and sensitivity. Okay, now I'm going to work on the lymph system. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to just start a little on the reproductive. I'm going to do both at the same time. So coming from the both ovaries, left and right ovary, just giving it a little love to start off with. Sometimes I can tell what part of a cycle they're in, or if they don't have cycles anymore. So just trying to feel into the ovaries, just send them a little love. And then caterpillar tracks over the fallopian tubes, over and down into the centre, to the uterus, the womb on the inside. Again, sending the area a little love. That's quite deep. That's quite a deep feeling there, very profound, like a real stillness. Now coming up to the lymph, so I'm going to work on the top of the right foot, working down between the first and second toe, little caterpillar track towards the ankle on that upper lymph in the correct direction, just encouraging the lymph flow to work for the upper body, and then working around the ankle bone, round the side, working from underneath round the front to the top of that ankle bone. That's on the lower lymph, the inguinal lymph, that helps us to clear toxins from the lower half of the body. They're working for us every minute of the day. Always got toxins swilling around us, waste cells, etc. And now on the left foot, just working into the cervical lymph. That's nice, clearing away that congestion. So this can feel a little bit swollen here with fluid, but that feels like it's clearing now. A lot of this is about intention as well. It's not just what I'm producing here, what I'm giving and the treatment, but it's also the intention of wanting to give, wanting to help, wanting the person to get better, to feel better, to go away, feeling restored. And then working on that outer ankle again. So this is on the inguinal, round from underneath, over and round to the front. Round the front to the top. So I'm working with 2 fingers here. I'd normally use a thumb, but I'd be in the way of the camera. So just working from the bottom over and round, either in a caterpillar or in a smoothing action. That's it. Nice and relaxed. Nice and relaxed. And then to finish, I tend to do the excretory system. So working from the adrenal and kidneys down, across and out. So, over the many years that I've given reflexology, Swiss Reflex treatment, I think I could count on probably 2 hands the amount of people whose adrenals and kidneys have felt 100% fine. So what I tend to feel here, and that's the case now, is that I will feel like a tightness and a crunching feeling, like it's a bit gritty, clicking deep within the foot. And our kidneys do take a lot of strain. They have such an amazing role in our bodies, filtering all our fluids. So this action now to finish is so important for clearing the kidneys, helping them with their job, their role in the body. down the ureter to the bladder. Clicking just at the last point now. I like to keep going until those clicks have gone. I don't want anyone to leave here feeling that there's still work to be done. Are you alright, Nadine? Mm-hmm. Is your foot okay? Mm-hmm. So working on the left foot, coming down from the adrenal, the kidney, down the ureter to the bladder and out. Working very sensitively, compassionately, always injecting a little love and care into this area. You know, our kidneys are associated with a feeling, if it was a negative feeling, the feeling of fear. And in order to rid fear from our bodies, because we can hold emotions in our bodies, particularly different organs, then it's nice to massage the kidneys. Another way to massage them is to bounce on your heels while standing and just place soft fists at the kidneys, which is each side of the spine just above the waist, and just bounce like 20 times and say something like, I am brave, I am courageous, and that will help to rid fear. It helps to heal the kidneys, because that's where the fear is stored. And of course, just above the kidney is the adrenal, which helps us deal with those fearsome situations where we feel fear and we have to deal with it. Shooting out cortisone into our blood system to help us cope with the fight or flight response. Lovely. Okay, that feels much better. And then I tend to do a Brazilian toe technique where I start with the middle toe, just gently, just simply holding, not particularly pressing, not particularly moving in any way, just holding, and therefore tuning into the energy of the toe, the energy of the foot, the energy of the person. A couple more breaths. Working on to the next toe out, the fourth toe. Again, just touching, not tickling, just holding. And the way I see this action working is it expels excess energy. Energy that does not serve us. Energy of past conversations, mannerisms, our ways in life, things that we do that do not serve us. Let them be expelled. It's almost like they're shooting out of the toes as I'm holding them. And working on the little toe. Let them be expelled. We have no need for them. I've got some lovely music playing in the clinic today because it's been a hot day. I'm playing some seaside sounds of oceans, of dolphins and waves and shorelines, and sometimes of rock pools and puddles. I think that helps us on a hot day to feel cool. And coming back into the second toe. The feet are feeling nice and cool now, which is nice. Having had a busy day, I think Nadine's been very busy today. Her feet will have got hot at times, and they're feeling lovely and cool now. And to the big toe, just at the top of the pad, helping expel, telling the feet everything is okay. Everything is okay. Everything is okay. And obviously keeping your eyes closed, take a nice long breath. Continue with the deep breathing and send your breath all around your body. Slowly sending your breath down to your beautiful feet. Introducing a little movement, stretching out the toes, the soles, turning the heels and ankles, bringing the toes up to stretch the back of the legs and pointing them to stretch the front. Breathing again. Sending your breath to your hands, stretching out the fingers, the thumbs, splaying the fingers, widening the palms, turning into the wrists. Nice clicks. And then breathing into the abdomen, the chest, rotating perhaps into the shoulders, one direction. And the other way. Raising our arms. Nice whole body stretch. Lovely. Wonderful. I'm just going to remove the eye pillow nice and gently. And the iPads might be a bit bright. Okay, you can slowly massage your face and you can open your eyes when you're ready. There's no rush. So I'm just going to hold my hands so that you can breathe what was going into your feet. Just take another couple of deep breaths. Sweet marjoram, lavender and corn mint. Okay, and slowly bring yourself round. I'm going to lower the couch. How are you feeling?
It's yummy.
It was yummy.
It was yummy.
And how was it when I was massaging on your left foot? Was that sore?
Yeah, it was sort of sore further up the top by the little toe.
Okay.
But not as sore. Do you remember when you touched it last time?
Yeah.
It's not as bad this time as then. So.
Okay. But it was bearable?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Did it feel like it was helping?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was always waiting for you to touch it, but it was fine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope it helps.
Thank you.
You look very sleepy.
I am.
Yeah.
Mm.
So time for bed, probably.
Oh, straight to bed. I'm showered. I'm ready.
Lovely.
Straight to bed.
Okay.
Thanks for watching Nadine's reflexology treatment. I'll see you next time. Let's spread a little healing.